Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
How y'all doing?
Well, I
Excellent. How
finished
are you?
dinner on time. I finished cooking it. I didn't say I finished
Give me a
eating.
second here.
Oh my God, he made it? Really?
He always comes in during the intro.
Oh my! Hi, Nick.
All right, there we go. Hi, what's up? Got here as quick as I could.
Now, Steve, if you want to share it out, you can go to the Things Network and click on the live video, and there's a share button on the bottom, and you can share it out. I would help share it, but as everybody probably knows, I'm in Facebook jail again.
He
Yeah,
didn't
that's right.
learn to do this.
Hey, everybody. So I'm going to
What's
go
up,
ahead and
Brad?
start sharing this out as well. Yes, Nick, I am so glad you're here so you can handle all the comments so I can take care of all the sharing.
Hey, Tim. Hey, Brad.
See, I got you. You know, I always got you covered.
Yeah.
What's going on, Tim? Good to see ya. What's up, Joanne?
Hey, Joanne.
Why can't I see comments? All right, let's fix it.
Tim.
There we go.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, so
hang
I'm
on.
going to keep on sharing
Eileen
this
is in
down
trouble
until I
again.
get stopped.
Ah,
I don't know who the Facebook user is, but hello.
Oh,
yeah.
great. So we have a
Yeah.
Facebook user.
Jeremy, you better put that banner up.
Yep. Here's our first banner for the evening.
It doesn't do any good. Some people just cannot get it to work.
No. Oh. Oh. Were you spraying for roaches again before the show?
Now we have very
No, I
limited,
was not. In fact, I was setting things up. Go ahead, Eileen.
we have very limited time with Steve. He's a busy man. So he informed me he had something that he forgot about today. So we got kind of limited time with him.
Actually, I'm embarrassed to say, but it's my niece's sweet 16 party, and I'm not making that up. Sounds like something I'd make up, but
Ooh.
I, I, I don't even know what you're supposed to do. All I know it's cocktail attire. Now that's kind of weird for a sweet 16 party, but it's the sweet. What do you do with those things? I have no earthly idea.
It sounds
It
like you're a
depends on what
parent.
nationality you are. If it's a quinceanera, well, it better be cocktail attire.
No, no,
It's
I think
probably the parents wanting to get drunk saying, "Oh, we made it
that's
16
probably what it
years."
is. No, I think it's all French. So, so anyway, that was it. But I had forgotten completely about it. But I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
We're glad to have you on here with us.
So tell me,
Glad
I'm
to have
new
you
to.
on.
I didn't get to hear anything about you. Tell me what you do.
What do I do? Well, I guess my main claim to fame is I the founder, writer, and the guitar player for a band called Lillian Axe, who's been around. Our first album came out in 1988. Our 15th release and 10th studio record comes out in August. We were inducted, I almost said abducted, inducted into the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame 10 years ago. And I was just inducted again personally about 6 months ago. We've been touring around the world, playing videos back in the MTV days all the way to now, and just signed our 9th record deal, re-releasing our whole catalog, and a brand new record comes out in August. I was invited here because several years ago, I was approached by a production company down here in New Orleans that had read one of my interviews where I talked about my love of all things unknown and the things that I had gone through in my life. And so they said, well, look, we'd like to, gosh, I guess about 8 years ago, we want to do a reality show, the Rock and Roll Paranormal Investigator. So I said, okay, I know everything's got to have a niche or whatever. I said, but, this isn't, this isn't Ghost Brothers. I don't want to be, going there. If I'm going to do anything like this is serious. This is not going to be, I'm not going to be, we're not going to go in with some weird little thing that's going to make it look like a joke. Not going to do. So we worked on that for a couple of years. I mean, to the point where we had the entire show setup. We changed kind of the format for a while, but it led to me forming a group called The Veil. And I have a 7-person team. I have my number 2 guy is a gentleman named Dave Young. He has been a consultant for the Myrtles Plantation for over 30 years. He's a phenomenal guy. Got a lot of experience. He's pretty well known. A lot of people know him, especially down here. A lady named Deborah LeBlanc she's a clairvoyant, sensitive medium, also an author. She's our medium. I have the head of product development for PV Electronics is my audio video guy. I have my stage manager, my brother are our techs. They do all the setup. And then a gentleman who is a scientist for NASA. He's in the NASA Hall of Fame. It just joined. His name's Mark Lanou. He's also in a band called Fiction 6. I think they're out of Arkansas, but he's been playing music, and he's got an indie deal, a couple of records, but he's brilliant. And it's just, we have a great fascination and respect for all things unknown. And we've been doing investigations for a while, but it got to the point where Discovery Channel had actually given us a deal, gave us a slot, and it looked like all things were going to go towards this. And, the deal is like, okay, but, the funding for the show comes from you guys. So we go and we get what looked like funding. We started courting investors, and it looked like we had everything where we were going to be able to do the first season and whatnot. And then all of a sudden it kind of started falling apart. People that say that, they all of a sudden they start getting cold feet. So it wound up being a situation where we decided we're going to do it on our own. And then Jason Hawes from Ghost Hunters contacted us and said he was interested in being a producer on the show, wanted to know if there was room for it. And we said, yeah, we are. But, hopefully we know what you can bring to the table. Can you do it? And he said he was going to bring it to his people. And this was a couple of years ago. We had conversations back and forth, and then he just disappeared, I guess, when his new show came out. So you know how it is, guys, in this business, man. You get all these opportunities. He had 50 opportunities, hoping that one signs up. I've had 9 record deals, and I've been turned down by 100. So it's just you keep persistent. But the bottom line is we love what we're doing, and we feel like it's a gift to be able to put these kind of people together to go out and not only to investigate places and learn history and further investigate the things we don't know about, but we do residences, people that are having problems, go help them out as much as we can. So right now, what we did was last year, we decided we were going to film a documentary, which we did. Investigated Fort Jackson down in Louisiana, which is an amazing Civil War. It's still available for the public, but that's where the Battle of Fort Jackson took place. And a lot of stuff. We did a great shoot. We've been editing the thing for about 8 months now, and hopefully it'll be done by the end of the year. So that's why I'm here.
Well,
I love the same things you guys do.
I tell you what, you have a good group
It's
here,
awesome.
along with our audience, that anything you need promoted, we have plenty. Each one of us, 5,000 friends at least, at the most, because you can't have more than 5,000. But I understand completely okay, let's film this, and all of a sudden, never mind, we're not even going to run this show.
Right.
So I filmed a show earlier this year that I hope to God never makes it to air. That's all I hope to God it never does, because that was my first. I sounded like an idiot. I looked like an idiot. I already know this. I do not want it on air ever. That's where I'm at with that.
But let me tell you, man, people can see through that. They see your honesty in what you're doing. Well, it's not about being slick and saying the right things and doing that. It's about the fascination and the love you have for what you're doing, and people can see that. And that's, I think, what makes people trust individuals when they watch paranormal investigations. You can tell the ones that love it. You can tell the people that are there to learn as well, as opposed to the ones that try to sit there and tell you what ghosts and spirits like and what they don't like. And I'm like, please, You have no idea what they like, why they're thinking. These are all hypotheses, you know.
If
So
any of us knew, we would be famous. That's just not
exactly.
how it works.
But that's the whole thing. It's the beauty of the search. You know, it's the things that we learn every single time. You know, and so you know, I guess that's why everybody that is in this field is so passionate about it.
Well, and
I can
that's
say
what.
my claim. Oh, go ahead, Eileen. I'm
No,
sorry.
you go ahead, Adrian. I got you.
I guess I can say my claim is, you know, anyone I've actually, any spirit I've actually interacted with and met, I'll never forget. I know their story. I know they're like friends. And it sounds really crazy to somebody who has not been there, but they are friends. You know them, you know what they felt, what they did.
Right.
My first investigation, I decided I was going to do research on one certain spirit for months. Wrong answer, because that one followed me home. Because I guess we had that connection for months, and I didn't realize that. And when he followed me home, he decided to hurt my husband pretty bad when he got there. So I don't do that anymore. But you know him, you feel him, it's more like making a friend.
Right.
Like you and I were talking last night, Steve, that one thing I really love about the community is the feeding off of each other. Like everything that we do is a theory. And hey, this is I'm trying this out. This is what it's doing for me. Someone else tries it out. And then that's how some of this technology becomes a thing that we all
Right.
end up using, is because people use stuff in their own lives to try to use in the paranormal side. I'm sure there's equipment you use, and I mean, I'm sure I'm guessing you're probably really good at using music when you're on investigation. I could see that if you ever did that.
And yeah, that is one of the things, like you're saying, on this investigation when we were doing a Civil War investigation, and Mark, our NASA scientist, is a musician as well. We learned a bunch of Civil War songs, took the acoustic guitar out in the middle of the night, in the mosquitoes, in the fog, with just moonlight and cameras, and we sang, you know, "Mine Eyes Have Seen the Glory" and etc. And it was great. We used music a lot in that. But like you and I were speaking last night, and you introduced me to something with the cell phones that I had never heard of before. So that kind of that play back and forth and learning different things, you know, because we have all the equipment in the world. You can have all your meters, etc. But the human body is the best
Oh yeah.
barometer for what we experience.
Everything else is just to kind of feed off of what you're already feeling. Yeah, thank you. That's the word.
And people don't want to do that because they want 100% proof to the world that it doesn't work that way. It just does not. People can think you're crazy. Oh yeah, I felt this and I heard this, and I'm working on mediumship right now. I'm not going to say I am a medium, but I'm not going to say oh yeah I can. No, but you can't prove that. You can't. And people can say you're crazy. It's okay. That's fine, because we get the experience. That's all that matters.
So what actually got you into the paranormal? I know you were intrigued, but what got you actually going into it?
Honestly, it started when I was a child. When I was approximately 4 years, and there are things that go on in your life that you're never going to know about because they slip by, and your parents, observed certain things about you when you were a child and just kind of wrote it off or didn't mean anything or whatever. But there were some things that had occurred when I was young. When I was about 4, I had a little sister who was 9 months old, and she passed away at 9 months old. And it's funny, not funny, but it's unusual because the thing that she died of was a birth defect in her liver that now would be an outpatient surgery to cure the sickness. But at that time, she couldn't, so she passed away. And my parents said that I saw angels floating over her crib. when she passed away. And then not long after that, we were having dinner at my grandmother's, and I started screaming and crying because there was a big man came in the room, and I was yelling to make the bad man go away, and until they started praying, it was, I guess, hysterical or whatever, and they started praying and then invoking the name of Jesus, and the entity went away. And ever since then, I would feel and see different things that other people didn't and whatnot. I don't think it's like I was seeing ghost spirits. I don't know what it was, because that's another thing too. I'm really way up in the air on entity. Everybody likes to call them ghosts, or spirits, or souls, or demons, or this and that. We really don't know. I like to think of the entities that have moved on as just the soul. Whether it's what's the difference between a ghost and a soul or a spirit or whatever? It's the entity of an individual, of a life force. So that's kind of tricky when you start trying to describe those. But those are the things that got me into it, and obviously, as you all are, I'm sure, you become a huge fan of horror and the unknown. And I remember, it was kind of taboo. I mean, honestly, what we are into right now, 20, 30, even, 10, 15 years ago,
Right.
you started talking about this, just like with UFOs. Now, I mean, 20 years ago, you said, I believe in UFOs, and all of a sudden you had the scarlet letter on your forehead, But when I was a kid, if I talk about believing in ghosts or whatever, and all of a sudden you believed in the devil, and so that's kind of where it is now. At least we can talk about it now. Into it, but you couldn't do that when you were a young kid. They thought something was mental about it.
Yeah.
Steve, your sister still stays with you, doesn't she?
I feel that my sister, my dad passed away years ago. He was younger than I am now when he died. I feel like they're with me all the time. I feel like my grandmothers are with me. I really do. I think it's a much bigger picture. I don't think we can narrow down this one's with you and this one is. I think their souls, their spirits encompass everything that we do all the time. I think, and it depends on your belief system, but I believe God allows the soul to, that's one of the great things. A soul is not confined to one place in one physical location. Omnipresent, I think. So I kind of feel like that all the decisions, if I make, those times where you think that you something tells you to move in a different direction and it winds up being the right way, or it saves you from being hurt or whatever.
Right.
I think what we call a gut feeling. I think that has a lot to do with being looked out by either souls of individuals that are close to you, care about you, or even angels. So it's a short time, guys. We all know that it's a very short time. So.
Huh? What?
Oh, Emily's asking, is Lillian Axe?
Lillian Axe. Maybe I'll just...
My sister was named Leslie, but I came up with the name Lillian Axe after seeing the movie Creep Show. When it came up.
Awesome movie.
Yeah, it was great. And right at the beginning of the movie, there's a scene with a bridesmaid skeleton in a little boy's room at the very intro of the movie.
Yep.
And when I saw it, I just said, man, we were trying to find the name of the band. We had to change it because the manager stole our old name. So I wanted a crazy senile old lady name, and I was like a teenager at the time. So I'm thinking, oh man, what's a great old Lillian? That sounds crazy. And Lillian Axe. It just rolled off my tongue. And I remember I was 3 blocks away from our singer. So I went to his house and I said, I hope you like this, because this is going to be the name of the band. And like 1983. And the rest.
Well, I've been thinking all night how to put you on the spot.
Go ahead.
I'm the goofball. Where's your heart? Musician or paranormal investigator?
Where's my heart?
Yeah, not with the family and all. Let's take family out of the equation.
Oh, no. There's no separation. They all work together. I mean,
Darn it, I was hoping to put you on the spot, Steve.
you could never put me on the spot. You'd have, unless you found some picture of me dressed up like a drag queen or something, which
Oh,
never
I
happened.
got that. Hold on. No.
And I would find a way to get out of that. No, I'm kidding.
Brad.
Eileen, that's like asking you.
That's
You
not
know?
going to happen.
On our new album,
No
for
roaches.
example, our new album, for example, there's a song about. It's called "From Womb to Tomb," and it traverses my life and the lessons that I and every individual learn from the birth up until ascension into heaven. And one song is called "Migrating North," and it's about the introduction to a child at a certain age where he learns about the supernatural, whether it be God and the Trinity and that supernatural element, or things that we don't understand, from everything from Loch Ness monster to ghosts to aliens to UFOs, whatever. So I addressed that love for that in this particular song with references back to what I was telling you about earlier. So that reaches over into my music. The whole idea of supernatural, and this is not, we are very finite in what we're doing right now. This is part of a much bigger journey that reaches over my music, because that is the topic of the majority of the things that I write. So I don't have one over the other. It's like saying, which child do you like better? You know,
Well, mine's whichever one's closest to the refrigerator that can get me a drink.
there you go.
It is
I
funny.
want
to-
you-
I'm going to have to. I'm
Brad
gonna
here
have
has
to
a question.
this one, Eileen, because Steve, I write lyrics myself, and for me, it's the same way. I cannot take my writing and either choose it over the paranormal, and I can't take the paranormal and choose it over writing. So I'm right there with you. I cannot choose between one or the other. They are on the same level for me.
It is, because it's what makes you up. It's part of your DNA. So anything,
Yes.
you might be writing a song about a relationship with somebody, not necessarily love. It could be frustration, anger, or but all of your ideas and your thoughts about life and spirituality are all going to seep over into that. And so when you write, everything that's about you individually is going to come out in that particular piece, whether it's about a finite thing or about a bigger, you know, something on a bigger scheme. So you can't separate it.
Brad's asking you a question.
Brad here
Is
has a
your
question.
music
He's asking if you
on
have.
Okay. Yeah,
Spotify?
Brad. Actually, yeah, on iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, everywhere. We have 14 releases, and the 15th album comes out in August. But we just released a 3 CD anthology with our new label about 2 months ago called Psalms for Eternity. So it's a kind of a best of from our history so far. But new record comes out in August. You can find it everywhere you look.
And I will vouch, they do really good music. I've seen them in concert several times, and that's kind of how I got introduced to them, is because an old bandmate of his was like, "Oh, you know, he does paranormal." I was like, "No, forget no offense."
Even though you came
Listen,
to see
let's
us
go.
you saw us a few months ago and didn't introduce yourself. That's fine.
That's
I'm
okay.
sure.
Well, I didn't want to be boy.
You were probably
I'm
thrown
definitely
deep
going to
end.
have to check your stuff out, especially since you're kind of intertwining the paranormal into your work. Because I'm going to be honest, I had actually never heard of you guys. And when Eileen said, "Hey, let's see
Brad.
about getting Lillian Axe onto the show," and I was like, "Okay, who is she?" That was just how I did.
That's
And-
age-old
And
question.
fun fact, my grandmother's name is actually named Lillian. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Well,
So,
that would,
no,
that would
that's the name of the
explain
band.
one thing.
So I looked you guys up, and you guys, there's like 5 or 6 of you guys. Okay, now I get it.
We've been around a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had well,
That would
just
explain what Brad would say.
maybe about like 20 or 30
Yeah,
times.
you guys look like brothers.
Yeah, I saw that there.
They do look like brothers.
Sorry, Steve.
Oh,
Not
geez.
for much longer, guys. This is going away in a couple of months.
There you go.
Yeah.
But Can Steve give us sample a cappella? Emily. Emily's putting me on the
I'm about
spot.
to say, I think she did it for me.
Oh,
No, I
boy.
don't have a guitar in here,
Uh-oh.
Emily. I'm sorry. I have one in here. Matter of fact, I was kind
That
of
would
laughing.
be awesome.
You guys have
Let's
all these
talk
nice
about you guys.
backgrounds. Y'all have these nice backgrounds behind you, and I'm in my closet. I don't think it-
Well, I'm in my
Well, I mean, I'm
storage
right next.
room.
I'm right next to my closet. My closet's right here.
Well, I just took a spare. I actually took a spare bedroom in the house and turned it into a giant closet. So now it's kind of like my my office / closet. But you know, I don't have nice yellow daffodils or whatever Adrian's got behind her. But she lives in Colorado, so I don't know what's up in those plants over there. So gotta be very careful, huh?
That's a bridge.
That's from the scene, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh, is it really? I never saw that movie, but I need to see that.
On my chat to her is gummy
I
bears.
never saw it either. That makes two of us, Steve.
No,
Gummy
You
bears.
know what-
no,
We
that's
know
just
gummy
something
bears.
Zach threw together.
That looks good, though.
Nick, you're about to get in trouble, dude.
Ooh.
We all know what Colorado's known for. We all
Watch out,
know
Nick.
what
We'll
the
send the
life is.
cockroaches after you.
See, Steve, you don't want me picking on you during your show because when I first met Nick, he had a cup I wanted, and I literally was sneaking around on the floor underneath banners to steal this
Oh,
cup.
she was.
To steal a cup. Okay.
It was Jack.
Must
Yeah,
have been a
just-
really cool cup.
It was.
It was.
It's a Jack skeleton.
It was a Nightmare Before. Yeah, it was
Oh,
a Nightmare
Jack
Before
Skeleton.
Christmas cup.
Well,
I'm a huge fan of that movie. I'm a huge fan of that movie, and I bought this brand new cup from Spirit Halloween, like literally a month before I met Eileen. And yeah, Eileen tried to steal it away from me, sneaking
No,
me
Eileen
behind me
stole
without
it.
my
Jeremy
knowledge
went-
somehow.
Eileen
Nick.
stole it.
I'm a huge fan. Here you go, Nick. Check it out. Jack,
Oh,
Sally.
Oh, that is awesome.
They're little coffins.
Well, you know what? Actually, I got
I
this.
I keep guitar picks.
I actually
in one
got this too. Jeremy, you're gonna. I got this, Jeremy. You're gonna know immediately what this is because Mabel
is
got
that
this for me.
that? Oh yeah,
Nice.
that one. Yeah, one of our teammates gave that to him last week. Actually, Nick, are you in your regular office this time?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so Nick has a
Yeah.
6-foot Jack skeleton animatronic standing behind him on the other side of the room.
Really?
Well, actually,
Yeah.
well, actually, he's not. He's actually not up here right now because I brought him down a few days ago because I dressed him up for upcoming 4th of July. So he's actually
okay.
downstairs right now. But I can get
nightmare.
I got a picture of what he looks like though when he's. I got a picture of what he looks like though when he's dressed up.
If we do
I'll
an
say-
investigation together, don't bring the coffins. I'll steal them.
There you go. No, I'm a
She
huge
will.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
I have tons and tons of paraphernalia.
I have to
Did
send
I
you
say
a painting.
paraphernalia? I meant
Yeah,
memorabilia
awesome.
from that.
I'll have
From
to
that
send you
See,
a
Steve,
pa-
I got
a
to
painting I did.
See, Steve, I have a huge fascination and almost like a connection with that movie because I was born the same year it came out, 1993. It came out a few months after I was born. So anytime an anniversary comes up, that's the exact age I become too.
You were really born.
Think of the
Wow,
baby.
you're a youngster. I was in. I saw that movie.
Yes,
in
I am.
Seattle. We were on tour in Seattle, and the day it came out, and I knew I had to see it, but nobody knew what it was about at all. I didn't even know when I went to see it that it was
Right.
Animation.
animation. I thought it was like because I love Tim
Claymation.
Burton. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so and since then, I mean, my house, we between Star Wars and Nightmare Before Christmas, it's insane. I have so much stuff, and I had a fan a long time ago sent me a giant box on the road of all of the early stuffed characters from that movie, and I still have all that stuff from way back then. And do you remember what was the name of that company? It used to be in the TV Guide, and you would buy one piece at a time.
Touchstone Pictures.
No, it was
it's not Touchstone.
it
He's
was
a baby, Steve.
wait, what was it called? That you buy the figurines, and I bought every single.
Was
I
it
have like
keepsake or something?
Oh, and it's like every 5 or 6
yeah.
weeks you get a new piece.
yes.
Oh,
I know what you're talking about, but I
I
can't
can't
think
remember. I spent 10 grand and got every nightmare piece. I have everyone. Each piece is handmade and hand carved, and it took me like 3-4
There
years
you
to
go,
get.
Brad. Brad got it.
Man,
yep.
that was a great
Bradford
movie.
Exchange. Yes, thanks,
There you
Brad.
go. That's it.
Oh,
Brad.
okay. So I got it really quickly. I got a picture of him right here. This is what I have him dress up as for 4th
Nick,
of
you need to
July.
turn your
Sorry, it's a
thing
little
off.
see-through.
You can't see it,
Yeah, let
baby.
me see if I can turn that off. And
It's a statue or animatronic.
it's an animatronic. So okay, you know what? Here, let me
get
stop
that?
the virtual camera, and then I'm going to go back. Oh, how did I get it? Was give me 1 second here.
Just turn your background off. Or you could leave, whichever.
I did warn you. I did warn you we're kind of crazy, right?
I've been in a band for 40 years. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't have to sleep in a
I'm
tour
used
bus
to
with them.
crazy. I'm used to crazy.
I don't have to be in a
You know,
tour bus.
Usually
I am going to have to ask you this, but do you by any chance have a brim hat?
There we go.
Who, me?
Yes.
What do you mean by a brim hat? Like a
Because I can just about see you wearing one of these right here.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
Okay. I had to get out of OBS so I could get back onto the main camera.
I do have this.
Oh, I love it.
Oh my god.
That works.
That's
my
awesome.
steampunk. My steampunk hat.
Steve, here's that picture.
That works.
Now you guys can see it. Here you go.
Oh yeah, that's cool, man.
You guys see it still? Yeah.
Yeah.
I dress him up for different holidays, so that's what he's like. That's what he looks like right now. And I decorate him for like 7 of the holidays. I decorate him for Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Easter, of course, 4th of July now, and Thanksgiving. Of course, I do put him out for Halloween and Christmas as well.
Oh, of course.
So I got all the costumes.
Nice. That's awesome, man.
Yeah. He decorates for everything. You should see his back. You should see his basement.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for Valentine's
you know what,
Day,
Jeremy?
my basement is red and pink. For St. Patrick's Day, it's all green. He doesn't even need a background.
That's cool, man. Very good.
Yeah. And then and guess what, Jeremy? It's like that right now downstairs, and I'm getting some new lights. Some of them just came in yesterday. A few came in today. Got a few more coming in tomorrow and Saturday. So by the time I get all this stuff, it'll be completed. Jeremy's gonna play some Blisket in the new Escape from Indiana movie.
Kurt Russell. There you go.
Hey, I
this
took the
Hobby
part.
Lobby. Oh wait,
So
who's?
Go ahead.
Yep, I was gonna say since Mabel's here, I was just showing everybody this, Mabel.
There you go. Very nice.
He's the one that gave him that.
Yep.
So do you enjoy doing more residentials or do you enjoy doing like more historical locations?
Honestly, I enjoy doing more historical stuff. I mean, I like the fact that we can go in and try to help people. I mean, there's only so much you can do in a residential thing. Wait, hold on. Having trouble taking myself seriously.
Wait, who says that?
I like helping people and giving them a little insight as to a lot of times they're very afraid, and a lot of times it's I don't really think, or my team doesn't really think it's anything that's detrimental. It's just something trying to get some attention or some unfinished business or whatnot. But I enjoy going into large locations with lots of rooms where you can't. I don't like being tight because we'll set up our headquarters in as far away as we can get, so we don't contaminate rooms. We're not hearing noises nearby, and I just love the idea of history and having that energy from years and years and years being right there. It's almost palpable, you know. And
Well, I got a place that you're going to want to check out then.
Okay.
It is, and all four of us have been there together. It is the Masonic Temple in Salina, Kansas.
Yes.
This place is huge.
Yes.
It's got a total of 8 floors. That's
Wow.
including a basement and a sub basement, which I didn't know existed until I went into this building. And it's over 160,000 square feet.
Wow.
It's massive. It's got lots of history to it. It's got some weird things in it, and the stories. Well, just seeing some of the designs and the marble work and some of the other stuff in that building is just amazing. It's not just for the historical factor into it, but it's also in the architectural factor of the building.
Is it hard to get in? Do they let you in, or do you?
Yeah, they will let you in, and if you want in,
No, they don't.
Absolutely get you in.
I'm about to say I'll send you the person's number.
Yeah, me too. Either one.
Just a word of advice.
Don't carry a lot of.
Sorry, go ahead, H-Ray. Go on.
No, go ahead, Nick.
No, I was gonna say just a word of advice, Steve. Don't get lost in the basement like I did, because the basement is massive. It's huge.
You don't go there alone in the basement.
Well, and also not just that, but make sure you do some leg exercises there, because there is no working elevator in this building.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
And it's like,
no, you gotta take the stairs.
As soon as you think you're done with a set of stairs, there's another set of stairs. It's like it doesn't stop.
I've been there. I've investigated there 4
It's like,
times.
it's just like endless.
That's tough to cover.
There are no tunnels down there, Emily. No.
Yes, there is.
It's
Yes,
just
there
it's
is.
Like
a
when we
huge
did
basement.
Fort
Oh, there is?
Jackson,
Closed off.
the thing that we're doing the documentary on, it's huge. It's a giant. There's around the entire swamp around the whole thing. There's a cemetery on the premises, and there's tons of tunnels inside of the fort. That so and obviously it's very. We were there all night long, so we're with no light. It's right on the river, so you've just nothing but whatever lights we have and moonlight. And trying to navigate through those giant places like that, you really have to, like a place that you're talking about. You really got to have a blueprint ahead of time to kind of get yourself figured out where to go. But that's why preparation is so important in what we do. And I think I like that, and that's why I kind of prefer to do the historical locations a little bit.
This one here, it's pretty new. Nobody really knew anything about it until we started going. They had just kind of bought it, so they were trying to figure out, okay, is it going to be more profitable to let people in here to investigate, or to just and they rent out the first floor to any business that wants to. There's a nail shop, there's a taekwondo, there's all kinds of things there. But when we went,
a guitar shop on the second floor, if I remember right.
When we went there, it was kind of crazy, because there had been other people investigate. They had gotten some really good pictures. It was awesome. It was a local team. And when we went, it was kind of just us. So we were running up and down these stairs trying to run wires, and it was unreal. And there was only very few of us. Our team was small at that point.
Yeah, sometimes in those big locations, you've got to kind of pick your battles. You find out what areas have the more, more activity from other people that have been there, and kind of concentrate on those, because sometimes you can get so overwhelmed with one. I find myself, hey, it's 3:00 in the morning and we still haven't hit this, and this, and then you wind up spending less time in more important areas because you want to cover everything. That's when it turns into, okay, we'll be back tomorrow night.
Right.
And
this is one of those that the sub basement is actually still. I mean, there is some concrete there, because it used to be like it almost looks like a morgue, but what it was is they had they talked about 1920 something. There was a circus come through, and the elephant somehow made its way down into that sub basement, and they ended up having to, it's not going to make its way back up. So, and there's a huge furnace there, like it heated the whole, 6 stories above it.
Right.
So, there's always talk of bodies being thrown in there, and Masons, they would go there to drink. Their wives weren't allowed there, but there was other women allowed there. And it was a temple. So what we learned is every temple has tunnels that go to the hospital, to a bar, and to, I can't remember what other place, but anyway, there's tunnels. And to the hospital is always underground tunnels. We couldn't find them, and I don't know if they still exist. They're closed off, but you could see like the stairs were made in the middle of windows, so that people, if they were going to shoot in there, they couldn't tell where you were.
Yeah. We recorded 4 albums in a Masonic temple that had been turned into a studio down here in Covington, and they still had their ceremonies on Tuesday nights.
Yeah, he would
record on Tuesdays, so you could hear bang on the drums and stuff and making their weird noises upstairs. Mm-hmm. That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother show right there. Is Masonic.
We found the first time we went there. Do you have Sally? Susie?
Me?
Yeah.
I do.
We found this thing the first time we were ever there, and trying to figure out what in God's name was going on, because it was the back of a closet, and they had a room that was like for they would make costumes, or they would make arts for their plays, because their plays were, their thing. It was huge. They had a big, like, how many rows was it, Eileen? Like 7 all the way up to watch the plays.
Oh, yeah, because it's 3 stories. And
yeah. So it was like, you don't know if they made this for the play. You don't know if it was that ritual, what the heck it was. But we found this in the closet. I threw it back in there. I was like, okay, I'm good. Of course, you find something in location, you leave it there. You're not going to take it away.
Yeah, that's fairly creepy. Is that like?
Yeah. Oh, no, what's creepy is what's in there.
Whoa. What is that?
There's a bone. There is one of those.
Wow. So the whole
name with the name Dean.
Mm-hmm. There's bicycle lock. You know how you have the bicycle lock when you first start, and it has letters. It was Dean. Yeah. They had an old whippet in there from a whipped cream can. Yeah. There's a key. There's thread. It's twine. There's a bolt.
There's a hook eye in there. Screw, bolt.
Eyes are screwed.
Piece of film strip.
So that's all inside of that container on the top.
Right in the head. We thought at one point that we actually first thought it was assumed that maybe it was trying to serve as like a time capsule.
Yeah. And so what was that again that made you guys decide to take it?
We didn't take it. The lady actually messaged me and said, I am getting rid of this. I said, don't. She said, do you want it? I'm sending it to you, or it's going in the trash can. I said, send it to me. I kept it for over a year, almost 2 years.
Did anything ever happened wherever it's?
Nothing. People would tell me, oh my God, it's demonic. It's going to kill you. It's going to hurt you. It slept above my bed for over a year. Nothing.
Wow, that's weird. So we did an investigation of a doll museum once.
Is it in Vicksburg?
No, it's in Louisiana somewhere. It's next to the hanging jail. I don't know if you ever been to the hanging jail here. I think it's in DeRidder, Louisiana. But next to the hanging jail was a doll museum. So, I mean, as it is, dolls are creepy by themselves. But when you have 1,000 dolls of all shapes and sizes, and there's stories about these things moving around. Of course, you stare at anything long enough, it looks like it's moving. But in the pitch black with 1,000 weird looking crazy dolls.
So right, Brad.
Some of
I
those.
know some people who would end up having to change their pants after walking
Yeah,
through
exactly.
a museum like that.
Well, you
But
know,
you know
that's
what?
different.
I don't know how you feel, but
Yeah.
I never, even when I first started doing this, I don't know what, I've never ever been afraid. I've never been scared. I have gone up and you know, at the end of a location in a huge abandoned plantation, and nobody's around, the crew's packing up, and I'm by myself, and it's dark, and I'm going up into some places and seeing and hearing things that are a little unsettling, but I don't ever have that fear that I got to get out of it. It's almost like an electrical, like it's I'm not afraid of anything hurting me or anything. I'm just wanting something to happen. But
Right.
even first, because I know people that say they won't come within 10 blocks of where I am when we're doing investigation. There are people that, most people are deathly afraid of anything having to do with this. I don't know how you guys feel, but I don't ever get fearful or afraid. I just get excited. You know, I get,
Yep.
I want these things. I'll hold my hand
Yep.
out and say, please, you're in here.
Yep.
Come pull my hair, touch my hands,
Yep.
you know, do something. Let me know you're here. I'm not in the least bit of that. I think it's something that you kind of overcome when you start to have that respect for it. If you don't understand it and you don't respect
I'm
it,
not afraid of them either.
yeah, that's good, because when you become afraid of it, it can ruin.
You become their prey.
Well,
Absolutely, you're right.
Exactly. Even Josh just made this good thing. Have
I
haunted
tell you
dolls
what.
to leave me alone because I rescued them out of a dumpster.
I was, the first time I was in the temple, I had a lady that works there every day. She was with me, and because you had to have somebody that worked there with you. That was
Right.
part of the deal. She went with me, and we went downstairs, and I heard this whistle, and that seems how spirits communicate with me, is through whistle. That's how I hear them. So there was this whistle, and I said, "Did you hear that?" She goes, "Yes." I said, "Okay." So, and then it happened again, and there was clinks in the kitchen. I said, "Okay, I can't communicate with you like this. I'm going to go get some equipment, and I'll be right back." We took 3 steps up, and there was the loudest bang, and you could swear the floor was moving, but it couldn't. It was marble. There's no way it could have moved.
Right.
And she went to take off running, and I grabbed her. This was my first experience ever. And I
Right.
grabbed her, and I said, "We don't run. We don't run." And she was like, okay, I'm still having fun. Okay.
That was going up
We
to
walked
the
up.
first floor, right?
But we were like this when we got up the stairs. Like, oh my God, what just happened?
Yeah, it's
Well,
exciting.
you know what?
That was when you were walking up to the first floor, right?
We were on the ballroom floor. And then we were going to go up and get the equipment so that we can come back
Okay.
down and investigate. Because at that point, I didn't realize you couldn't investigate without equipment. I was very new. And that was the end of it for me. I'm like, okay, we went back down there. We did investigate, but that's all we ever got after that for that night.
Yeah, it's a great.
And a short time after that, I went to the temple. She wasn't there, and I got the same loud bang off the first floor. And I was there for 2 days, and I heard that same bang again the next day. It's just unreal. And,
Yeah.
and I've had a lot of things happen to me that I've never had happen to me in that building. So whenever somebody's looking for a new place to go to, and especially if they're saying they want to go to a large building,
Yeah.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
going to send them to.
And
That's
Steve
great.
is one of those reasonably priced ones that we discussed. I mean, it's
Right.
very reasonably priced. But before your wife and your niece kill us, I know you've got to get going to the Sweet 16, because I already know, and I'm gonna be like, you're gonna be looking at the time, going, "Oh crap!"
No, this,
Um,
like I told you before, I could sit here and
Okay.
talk for hours about these things that I'm passionate
Well,
about.
if that's the case, we're definitely going to have to get you back on this show.
Yes.
Please do. I'd like to.
Yes.
Let's do that, and then we can talk some more about some of the investigations that we've all done. I'll share some of the things we've been through,
Mhm.
and you know, I'll have some more news. We're hoping to get the documentary finished by the end of the year, which isn't that far away, to be honest with you. And at that point, we'll you know where it's going to be we have several different opportunities where it'll be released, etc. But right now, we're just trying to get it done. It's really coming out well. But yeah, we'll share some more stories and talk. And if anything I can do for you guys, you're looking for locations around here, let me know. And
Well,
let's.
how can people find you? If they,
Oh God, no,
they'll have
no,
a Facebook
Brad,
page?
that's not going to happen.
Does Val
You can
have-
find people
I'm
can
afraid
find
of
me on-
cockroaches, Brad. That's
on
why they keep.
LillianAxe.com.
I'm sorry.
and
I'm
then
sorry. What was it again?
LillianAxe.com, and then on Facebook, Steve Blaze and Lillian Axe, and all our stuff's on Spotify, iTunes, Napster, Pandora, anywhere you want to go. It's all out there. So YouTube, we may even have a couple of things of some of our investigations on YouTube. There's so many videos on YouTube between the band and the paranormal stuff that I don't even know half of them. But
Does the Veil have a Facebook page?
yes, it does. It's called Through the Veil.
Through the Veil. Okay.
Yep. So, well, thank you for having me on, guys. I appreciate it, and hope to.
Thanks for being on here.
We'll keep you posted, and let's do it again.
Yeah,
and we'll
great talking to you, Steve.
next time I'll make sure I have a lot more time. Y'all will be like, Steve, get off.
Thank you for making time.
Yeah. Thank you so
All
much.
right. Take care, guys. We'll see you later.
Bye.
See you later, Steve.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, you're still on. Okay.
Oh,
He's just here.
yeah, you're still
Hey,
on.
you're back.
Hey, there he goes.
Hey, Becca.
What's up?
And folks, that is not
Just
the end of the
missed our
show. We
guest.
still have at least another hour to go.
I know. He was really
Yep.
upset. He's like, oh my gosh, I'm so
Hey.
sorry. I was like, it's okay.
So
Hey, Jeremy, very quickly, because I
great having
couldn't
him on the
help
show.
but. Yeah, Jeremy, I couldn't help but notice this, but your name is still Wildwood Sanitarium.
Okay, so
Yeah, I wanted to tell you earlier in the show, but it was too late.
Well, who was that? Emily. He says should be out there still editing it
no.
right now. But I mean, he's a great guy. Follow Steve
give me a
Blaze
recall.
on Facebook, and look at Through the Veil and all that. And I'm sure as soon as it gets released, he'll be able to tell us.
Brad, you send this cockroach REM pod to my house, I'll crush it. I'm not going to have it. Yeah, I can tell. I know you're not kidding.
Oh, he's been sending
Oh,
me
God.
ideas. He's been sending me
Yeah,
all kinds
and I'm
of
going to make
ideas.
sure that it doesn't. I'm going to make sure that it doesn't get over here to the threshold to my house.
Well, just remember this, Nick.
You can have
I
it. I
have
won't.
no object.
He was saying, I'm sure, he was saying where. Oh, go ahead, Nick.
No, I didn't. No, I was just laughing. I didn't have anything to say. Go on.
It's down in Louisiana. He said Fort Jackson, was it? Is that the one that the documentary was in? Fort Jackson?
I heard Jackson come up.
But I know that he's from southern Louisiana.
Okay. So, Saturday, Eileen. So, I heard that things got a little icky out there.
Not like,
Uh-oh.
well.
What did you do?
Yeah. Well, besides sweat, I think I lost 20 pounds of sweat.
It got a little hot down there where they were at.
No, it was 102
God.
degrees probably until 8 something at night. And of course,
What's up,
if y'all
Jill?
have ever been to Old Park, some of it's heated. Some of it's cooled, some of it's not. Of course, we got the gel. Shannon booked the gel too. That's the first time I ever went to the jail, and it was hot. We were on the 3rd floor, and we were doing necrophonics, and of course, you had, who's here with us, whatever. And Avery, the name Avery came across. Well, I don't know anybody named Avery or anything. It's kind of a weird, no offense to anybody named Avery, but it's kind of a weird name just to hear, you know. And all of a sudden, Chad said, "Oh my gosh, I got Avery last time we were here." So we're trying to figure out who Avery is. Chad may know, but I don't really. And I'm sorry, I've been in Facebook jail, so I have not sent a friend's request yet. And then of course we had some activity. I don't want to tell some people's personal stories because it did get kind of where somebody, ended up with some things started happening. So I don't want to tell anybody's personal stories. Then we had some laughing moments. I will tell y'all, I love Old Park, but it was so funny. I don't know if y'all know I know y'all know, but if anybody else knows the Eskews, they were with us, and poor Beth couldn't make it, unfortunately. But we're sitting around. It's probably about 2 or 3 in the morning, and Shannon was with us, a whole group of us. And I was like, "Man, I'm supposed to ask you a question." I said, "Do you smell that? Did you smell something? Or is that us?" She goes, "Oh, I think that's us." I was like, "Okay." We couldn't put enough deodorant on.
Oh boy.
Perfume. Yes, that was in Texas, Brad.
Yeah, it was,
That was Old Park.
in Texas. It was Old Park Hotel, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Challenger.
Yeah, I think that investigation might have got me a new team member on my team. So
Really?
I think it
Wow.
converted somebody.
I'll tell you this. I have been to some locations that was really, really hot. It's terrible.
Brad, that is the coolest.
Which location was that?
Oh my gosh, Brad!
It was
Which place are you talking about, Jeremy?
There was a couple of places, but one place that was really, really hot this time that we went was at Waverly. I walked in wearing just a regular shirt like this. I was lucky that I was smart enough to bring a tank top with me, and I ended up having to switch into that halfway through the night. That's how hot it was. It was miserable.
See, the hottest I've been to. Well, the hottest place I've been to, and this is obviously a place we all know, believe it or not, it was really upstairs that was the hottest, was Bobby Mackey's Music World 10 years ago, where the former apartment area where Carl used to live in. We went there. It was probably like August of 2012. We go up there, and I'm telling you, we couldn't even stay there for no longer than like 10 minutes. It was literally like a sauna in this place. It was so damn hot. It was so bad. So that was a miserable night.
You couldn't.
Emily, that's just how his program is set up.
You couldn't do sleeveless. You needed to sleeve the pat your underarm.
Okay, so Emily, very quickly, and I always have to repeat this for everyone who asks this. I'm sitting my computer is actually a television monitor. I'm actually sitting right in front of it. So that's why my face is always pale white. Well, not only just my face, my entirety is always pale white.
See, right now, we can't even tell that you have eyes.
Okay,
I do want to talk about Brad's.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
So the Eskews, and y'all, I actually had my very first personal make me cry experience this weekend. So the Eskews met up with me at my sister's house. She lives in North Texas, so we just decided to break the trip up. And they did pull out the Brad made them like a wolf skull. It is awesome. So we pulled out. Now we pulled that out and played with it a little bit, but that wasn't what we were using. But y'all, my sister was telling about what she gets in her house. She renovated her house. The lady that used to live there, she was in her 80s. She went to the grocery store to get something for Bridge Club that she was having that night. Never made it back home because she died. Don't know if she died at the grocery store, on her way, hospital, whatever. She never went back home. So my sister knew the family, got the house, renovated the house. Well, recently, she talked to Beth, and again, Beth Allen hitting it on the head, knew everything. But she, my sister would walked in the house and she smelled lasagna. Then she walked in the house. She kept smelling like cookies and cakes and all this. Didn't really know anything about the woman. So my sister, being the cook, the wonderful cook she is, she put a frozen pizza, because that's all she eats, frozen pizza in the oven. Needless to say, my sister does not cook. And normal temperature, everything, the pizza burnt. It was like, don't you cook pizza in my house. Don't cook frozen pizza in my house. But now, I mean, nothing's ever burnt before or after that. And so she was telling all these stories. So Todd was like, oh, well, let's just put a REM pod in the hallway. So we put a REM pod in the hallway. And of course, when you walk past it, go to the bedrooms, it would go off, whatever. Leanne had walked past it. It went off. She went into the bedroom because you have to go down another hallway to get to a bedroom. And I could see, so Leanne was nowhere near it. And I was like, oh, Orlayla, remember when, sorry, my sister, I said her name. But I was like, remember when we were at Mom's house, we had the dual switch, one on each side of the hallway. I said, as a kid, I never could walk down that hallway. I always had to turn the lights on, even as a young kid. And, but as soon as I started saying, I said, Mom, the REM pod went off. Now, my whole paranormal, whatever you want to call this, I've been looking for my mother. And I know she still haunts the old house we were at, whatever, but the one she died in. But I was like, I froze. I was like that. And my sister's like, oh my gosh. And then she
don't ever serve frozen pizzas in an Italian's home.
I can vouch for that.
I'm part Italian, so yeah, well, I'm part Italian. I'm fine with that.
Then, of course, Leanne comes back out. REM pod goes off because she walks past it. She's like, I was nowhere near it. I was like, I know. Well, so we start, I say something again, and we said, Mom. Well, the first time was just a beep. The second time was like, beep, 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 beep. And we're like, okay. Then something else was said, and then we said, Mom, again. And it was like that long beep that like holding on to the REM pod. So I looked at Todd. I was like, do you think the battery's down? He goes, I don't know, but if it's not, it's going to be draining them. And so I was like, okay, it's probably the batteries, whatever. We left it going for about another hour. Nothing. After we quit talking about my mom, nothing. Of course, I'm crying at this point. I mean, not like boohooing, but crying. And then we get ready to put it up. It works. Turn it off, put it down. The next morning, he goes to switch the batteries out. It's working just fine. So it wasn't the batteries dying, before anybody asked. But yeah, it was like, and Todd was like, have y'all been fighting? And I was like, no, me and my sister, other than being kids, we fist fight, but we don't argue. I mean, she's my best friend. No offense if Rebecca's still on here. But yeah, it's like, that was my first mother experience. And that was really touching to me. Sorry, I had to tell that story.
To go along with that, I'm going to be honest. I don't know if I would ever want my mom to come through on any of my cases, because I don't know how I would take that.
See, now, right before, I was already doing paranormal with my friend Amanda, and who we call Mama Joe. She was my mom's best friend. She lived across the street. Unfortunately, I was 2 days before being 21 when I found my mom. I didn't call 911. I called Mama Joe. That's how close we were. And so Mama Joe was telling me that the people who bought the house said that at 4:30 every morning, the smallest bedroom in the house, that light would come on. Then the hallway bathroom light would come on. Well, they knew someone had died in the house, but when you're talking about a parent, you would never say anything. You would think if they're haunting the master bedroom or whatever. What they didn't know is I was, like I said, 2 days from being 21, and I had my kid. I had the master bedroom. My son had the second largest bedroom. My mom had the smallest bedroom. She died at 4:30 in the morning. She would finish. It was like she was finishing her loop. And that's why I do believe there's the same spirit, or there can be residual as well as intelligent within the same spirit. Because she's finishing her loop, but she was also talking to the people there. She was hiding things that she didn't want them to have it. She was like hiding things. But yet my Mama Joe saw her, all this, but what everybody could see of her was more residual. And so I begged the people to let me go investigate. But they said that when they found out my son was in the Marines, my nephew was in the Marines, got kind of heard about all the kids. They kind of said, okay, your grandkids are doing great. You've got more grandkids than you knew. Here's what everybody's doing. Activity stopped. It was like she was okay. And so, yeah, so we're just, that's the first time she really, out of all these years, she's ever come through. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I think she came through, but I really do feel she came through.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm not really
Brad
sure how
was
to
asking, did you get any activity on the?
So he didn't, like I said, he didn't use it that day because he didn't want to really. There was a big. My sister's got a Great Pyrenees lab mix, and of course he didn't want it to be messed up that night, or so he didn't really, because we had it on the floor, didn't do it there. You'd have to ask him, because we were kind of, even though we were together, we were still kind of all over the place, and he had cameras on certain things, so I don't know if he got any evidence on it or not. And y'all know how public events are, even though majority of the people there were investigators. When you have so many people, you end up not using so much of your equipment because especially when it's 102 degrees, lugging things around gets very uncomfortable. And you're always, I left my book several times. I had to keep going back and getting it. Where I write everything down, I kept losing the darn thing. So I finally, by the end of the night, I just had a digital recorder and necrophonics, and that was it.
Yeah, I personally am not that big of a fan of doing public events, just like this, so much contamination. But for the ones that I do go to, for example, I went to one Saturday night over in Paulding, Ohio. Finally got to meet Rick McCallum, the stuntman from Hollywood.
Yeah, I was jealous. I got to see him.
I'm still here. I'm just going off screen.
Okay. And all I did was just take a backpack with me. And half of the backpack was taken by that 4-in-1 box that Brad had sent me. But knowing that it was going to be a public event, I was like, I'm just going to take just a handful of things with me and just kind of go from there. Because I knew how it was going to be, because the last time I went to a public event, there were children there. And the small group that I was with, there was just 3 of us. We was up on the top floor in one room, and we were trying to get some responses. And then all of a sudden, here comes this guy and his little girl coming in, and she's got this big old REM pod, and it's everywhere. And she comes in and puts it right in the middle of the room, and I'm thinking, okay, I see how this is going to be. But yeah.
Well, I will give public events this. If it's your first time at a location, it at least gives you the feel of the location. You do get to meet other people. If it wasn't for basically a public event, half of us would have never met. And I love watching, maybe not non-believers, because very few people are non-believers when they go. They say they are, but they're there, kind of thing. But watching someone turn into like wanting to do this, that is amazing. But then you get your other people that are sitting around. Those are the ones that kind of get where you're like, oh my gosh, you were talking. We heard you talking. I admit that was you talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that The only reason I went to Paulden, Ohio, is so that I could finally meet Rick. Um, and it was so much.
And how
It
was
was
he?
so much funny too, because as soon as I got there and met up with him, he starts introducing me to everybody else. I thought that was cool as hell.
That's awesome.
That's another thing I
and
love.
Rick,
It's like
the reason why I'm jealous. Sorry, I mean.
no, go ahead.
Okay, so the reason why I was jealous that you got to see Rick was that Rick was just on a show a few days prior with Drew, and how he said, he wanted to meet up with you, with me, with several other people. It was just like, oh, geez, if only we were still on the road for another night. Going back home, we probably would have came out to that event if we had the chance.
Well, I had brought it up in our group chat that I was going to go see him.
Yeah, I knew that.
That was.
I was trying to cling on to hope that we were going to go.
I got my ticket, so I only got my ticket to go to that event 3 days prior, because I wasn't 100% sure if I was going to or not. I found out that I could, so I went for it. And that was really the only reason why I went there. I had no idea that Paulden Jail was so close. It was only a half hour away. And then when I did the other public event, that was at the Bell Mansion. And I had been there a couple of times before. The people who run it had given me a tour of the entire building. They had me come in to check it out before they even opened it. And the craftsmanship that's in that wood, you just don't see anymore. You really don't. So that was when I took the opportunity to do one of their Wednesday night public events and check the place out. And that's when I got that really cool picture of me being on the embalming table. And I even got loose on the embalming table there. And with the embalming table there at Salamanca, I just had to take the opportunity and do it. Though that was the first time I actually laid down there and stayed there as part of an investigation. I didn't do that at Bell Mansion. I just laid on there for the picture. Yes, Brad, Bell Mansion, you can do your own private investigations there. I'll get with you on that one later.
I was, and then he was also asking, did you try the Devil's Toy Box while we were in New York, or?
I had it out there, but I didn't really use it. I just didn't really get into the moment of using that particular box, like I was with everything else. I still need to really dig in and
Night, Jeff.
Study the effects of it before I actually try to really use it. Because with something like that, if you don't know what you're doing and you're trying to use that, it can get a little hairy. And yes, Joshua, the tub was actually really comfortable.
I'm surprised I didn't try I'm surprised I didn't try that tub. Although, like you said, Jeremy, about the embalming table, so did I. That makes two of us. I gave it a shot too.
Now, the picture that I have from my profile was me being in the tub. If you zoom in on my face, you're going to see that I got my tongue hanging out because I wanted to try to look like I was dead.
I never saw that.
Well, now, one thing I love...
troopers laying on those tables and tubs and everything.
One thing I love about all this that we do on Facebook and getting to know each other, the person that's actually going to be joining my team, maybe, hopefully, would be my husband, who has never investigated before, but now he's been on 2 locations. But so he was laughing because, like, when I met Chrissy for the first time, we walked up, and you would think, like, Jeremy and I, when we first met, we ran up, hugged each other. Oh my gosh, hey! And like when I met Chrissy for the first time, it was like, "What's up?" And you just kind of stare at each other, and you're like, "What's up?" Just keep talking. And I've known Ray Savino for 2 years. We are like super close. And it was like when we walked up, we met at a gas station because him and Shannon were at a gas station. We just pulled off the exit there because I told Michael, I said, I want you to meet everybody kind of separately because he's he's an extrovert, but he's more of an introvert. And so it's like, so I had him meet them separately, and it was like we walked up, Ray's out there smoking. I looked upstairs and said, "How you doing?" It's like, I mean, like you known these people forever. I mean, everybody for like forever and a day, and you've only seen them on Facebook or chatted on the phone or something, but you've never met people face to face. That is what I love about the public events is the people you talk to. Like if I met Jill, Brad, Joshua, any of them, it'd be like, "What's up? How you doing?"
Don't tell them about the time you and I first
What's
met.
that?
Oh, it was like, okay, hold on, I got to set up for this. Sorry, hold on, let me see if I can do this. It was like the slow motion.
We ran into each other and embraced.
Have y'all seen those the movie scenes where the girl or the guy's running through the airport to try to catch up with someone? So they the person turns around and they come running. Yeah, that was me and Jeremy.
Yep, it was. That was just awesome.
I never said I would not talk to you in public, Brad. Come on.
Adrian, I was outside smoking. Her and Zach was like, "What's up? How you doing?" We weren't even Facebook friends. It was like, "I know you. I don't know why, but I know you. But okay." It was the same way with Beth. That's how the car
that last night.
Do what? I'm sorry, cut you off.
Yeah, no, wait, Jill, was that last night or the night before? I forget. I've slept since then.
I'm glad someone has. Thank you, Jill. She doesn't really know me.
Yeah. And then when Adrian and I met, I actually had Rosie with me. And we were headed over to the hotel where Adrian was staying at. And I didn't know this, but she was sitting in the lobby. And she saw me and Rosie getting out of the car through the windows, and we're walking towards the front door. And this particular hotel has one of those automatic sliding doors. And next thing I know, this thing opens up, and here comes this strange woman coming right at me. Give me a big old bear hug. Oh, hi, Adrian.
And there was like 3 people taking pictures because one of those people did not want me to do that. They want me to sit there. And the other 2 were like, let's go take pictures. Come on, let's go. They weren't going to stop me anyway, so it didn't matter.
And
that's
Nick,
kind of almost similar in a way that, yeah. What's up?
How did we meet? It was at Crown Point. I remember that.
It was Crown Point jail.
I don't. The thing is, I just don't remember us getting into a big old hug like I did with Adrian and Eileen.
No, I know we shook hands when we first met. So that's what I remember. And then Adrian, I remember, meeting you in person for the first time at Waverly, and you just like came out of the darkness and kind of did the same thing. Mm-hmm. Eileen, well, really, it was the cup that you stole. That's basically the best way to say what it was for our first time meeting.
No, it's so funny. So I was investigating, with Southern Paranormal back when On Again, Off Again, when Doyle Goss was still alive, and that's how I met Donald Martin. So I was doing an event at the McNutt house, and Donald and Rebecca had bought tickets. It never dawned on me that I had never met Rebecca because I talked to Donald all the time, especially after Doyle's dad. And y'all know me. I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna slap someone on the ass. Excuse me, but slap someone on the butt, a bootay, and that's just who I am. So I walked up behind Donald and I just smacked him. Rebecca, if y'all have ever seen her, she's got one of those faces that you don't want to mess with when she's not smiling. And she gave me this look. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know you. You don't know that was a joke. Been best friends.
Hey, Eileen, just so you know, you did that to me too.
That's my MO.
She did to me too.
I did it to Adrian too.
Oh, she did to you too. Oh, I didn't know she did it to you too, Jeremy.
She
Oh,
she
God,
doesn't
no.
discriminate.
Everyone deserves a. You should see me at darts. There's this one
Give me
girl.
a
She'll just turn
break.
around. We'll be at darts. She'll just turn around. She'll go ahead.
So, needless to say, we have a lot of fun when we get together.
Yeah, it's always fun to meet the people.
Oh, God. Now Jill's going along with this.
Huh?
Well, Jill wants me and her to
We're
do
talking
that thing
about-
that she's talking about.
Yeah, in which Brad wants to dress up in an inflatable cockroach costume.
Now, Brad, where do you live? Where does Brad live again?
Doesn't
He
he live in
lives
Indiana?
about 3 hours south of me.
Which would
Yeah.
put him where?
Shelbyville.
So still in Indiana. I don't know how
Yeah.
long it takes to get across your state.
Yeah, it's in Indiana.
Yeah, he lives 3 hours south of me, just south of Indianapolis.
So,
Heck, it takes me 6 hours to get from my house to Shreveport, which is the border, the other side of the border of Louisiana. But heck, by the time you enter Texas, it's like the rest of the 11-hour trip it takes me to get over to Ballinger on West Texas. I don't know how long it takes to get from one side of Indiana to the other.
Let's put it this way:
Well,
if you
Texas
go in
is
the
a
opposite
huge
direction,
state.
it'll almost be to my house in 6 hours. A little more than that, but
we actually, you know what, Jeremy, I'll be honest with you, but the way back home for me and Tom, it was actually really rough for us because we were trying to get back home as soon. See, I know I was going to message you when we got back home, but it was a rough drive back home for both of us. It really was because
Dad was saying that you were having a hard time getting a hotel in Auburn. No, Angola.
Yes. Okay, so the idea, the original plan was we were probably going to stop, once we got to halfway through the state of Ohio. And then when we looked at the map and we stopped at a rest stop, we saw that we were more than halfway through the state. So we were near the town of Toledo, of course. So we started looking up because, after this point, we were starting to get exhausted and running low on fuel, gas, everything. So we were just going to call it a night afterwards. But when we checked the hotel prices, I was like, there's some good hotel prices here. We were expecting that some were going to be good, good price for us to check in. But they were showing that either they were extremely expensive or the phone app, the websites were having a difficult time showing the actual prices. And I had to tell Tom, and we kind of had to agree as much as we hated this idea. I'm like, we're going to have to backtrack and just basically continue going down the road that we were at to try to get home soon. Even though I knew that in my head, I'm thinking, man, this will be hours and hours and hours, even though we were not too far from the Ohio-Indiana border. And I even told Tom, let's just hope our exhaustion doesn't
even
get
on Friday
to us.
nights,
we're
prices
close.
are going to be high.
Exactly. So I had to tell Tom, let's just hope our exhaustion doesn't get to us. And it's like, we're close yet so far. And I said, while we're walking out, we're just a few miles away from some good hotels and we can't afford them. So, and then even after, then And then we thought about, well, maybe if we pass Toledo and get to like hopefully get into Indiana, we could find something. It was the same situation even past then. I even told Tom too. I was like, "There's no way to get out of this." So we ended up spending the entire night driving back home, and I felt bad that I was falling asleep. It's like I actually tried singing silently, even slapping myself. It was a losing battle, and I just kept falling. I could not stay awake. We finally got home at around 5:30 a.m. So we made it
my
through the entire
solution to
night.
that, to stay awake, what I did one time is I stopped at a gas station and I bought several things of Slim Jims, like two or three bottles of Sprite, and just went back and forth between them
Sprite.
from the time that I picked him up at the gas station until I got home, and that kept me awake the entire time.
See, now, I mean, my whole thing is one of my friends is getting woken up if you're asleep because somebody, I mean, there's going to be people getting phone calls because we're going to talk if I'm by myself. But Joshua, that doesn't work with me because we took the Z to Texas. And of course, the room I was in, because it was supposed to be just me staying there, was the twin size bed in Ballinger. And I think that's the first time my husband and I slept in a twin size bed probably since before we got married. And I've been married 27 years. I can't remember the last time I slept in a twin size bed with somebody. But it was all we could do. We had
I don't need the
a blow-up
caffeine.
mattress, it's still in the box, but we ended up not using it. But our luggage, my equipment, of course, I had to take my sister some stuff. Yeah, you can't fit much in a Z. We figured that out. I mean, we had stuff behind the seat. Yeah, not the best travel vehicle, but the fastest.
Joe, I'm not Nosferatu. I couldn't stay up the entire time we were driving back home. So, but I will say this for her too. She said about my scenic pictures I took. I'll say one thing. I haven't even posted this yet. When Tom finally dropped me off, we had this absolutely beautiful sunrise that came over. Like, it was incredible, and I was able to get some pictures of it. But I couldn't stay up. Tom was going down the road when we got through Indiana, he was going down the road at like 70, 80 miles an hour. Even though he was exhausted, it's like he just wanted to get home as fast as he could. So, but it was a rough night for us.
Joshua, it's not that I needed any caffeine. I don't drink anything with caffeine. I try not to. It's just the motion of taking the drink or eating. That's what kept me awake. And then a year ago, when I went to Vegas and coming back home, it was late at night, 3 a.m, and I was on chat, and Adrian just happened to be up, and she knew I was getting tired, so she was sending me voice clips, and I would send voice clips, and that kept me awake for the last however long it was, and if it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't have been able to make it home that night.
Now you have to be careful with that, because one time I was on my way back from Texas, and I was not video chatting, but messaging via voice back and forth. Well, before I had my thing that held the phone up, I'm sitting there and I'm sending a message. About that time, this car just like got in front of me, and I had to slam my brakes. But when I did, I went forward. My phone went across the car and kind of slid up underneath the seat. So I had to wait till I got to a gas station to pull it out. But the clip sent, and they heard me say, "Oh shit, I am so bad tonight. Sorry."
Wow.
And
we don't worry about that on this show.
And so, look, my
Jill, that doesn't work for me. I thought it would, but it doesn't.
It doesn't work for Jill. I tried doing that on the way back home. It didn't work.
When I was going back and forth with Adrian that night, I did have a phone mount on my dash.
Well, they didn't know what happened. All they knew is they heard it, the phone cut off, and they kept trying to call me. I couldn't answer because it's underneath the seat. So,
Oh no, Eileen's dead. What are we gonna do? I don't know where she's at.
they were probably having a party.
I'll make sure to get a cup. I'll make sure to put a cup right next to her in her last will.
That's the only way she's going to get that cup.
100 hail. 100
No,
Hail
that'd be the
Marys.
second time she would get that cup. She got it once before.
Yeah, but well, it is still technically the first because it would be the first time she'd get it after death.
It's in your will, right? You did will it to me, right?
No, I'll just have to put it. Have to have an exorcism, so I don't have to give it to you.
Yeah, Nick is going to will a $12.99 cup to you. Oh, speaking of which, it was a picture that somebody had posted on Facebook. I don't remember who did it, but there was something that it said spirit on the side of a vehicle, and somebody had thought that this vehicle is now sponsored by Spirit Halloween. It had the same type of look, same type of logo. It wasn't Spirit Halloween, but it was very similar to it. But all it said was just Spirit. But when you look at it, automatically you're thinking Spirit Halloween because it had that same type of font.
That's awesome.
I wish I saved it, but I can't even remember who it was.
I'm pulling an Adrian.
I'm still looking forward to that. I'm still looking forward to that.
Hey, when it's 6
Spirit
o'clock
Halloween
my
movie that's
time,
coming
when
out.
we come on, yep, it's time to eat.
I ate my supper before the show.
Well, I got some bad juju because I had 2 people walk off the job this week, so I've been pulling a lot of extra hours. I'm such a horrible boss. What can I say?
Do you at least get overtime?
No, I'm salary, baby.
Oh, well, that sucks. That sucks. Oh, I do have some good news, I suppose. Surgery, my next surgery is pretty much set. It'll be September 26th.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
What if it
That's when
wasn't
we're
a
doing the
Spirit Halloween
reconstruction and the jaw alignment. So for 2 months after that date, I will not be doing any shows. These 3 will be running this show for 2 months. I won't be on. And then 13th Dimension is going on total hiatus because Nick has decided to go ahead and take a break from it as well when I have my surgery.
You mean they're gonna be running the shows? I just sit here and look goofy.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, let us know, Brad.
Yeah, this is. I don't know if you're reading. Yeah, let us know, Brad.
Yeah.
That would definitely be awesome.
Adrian, you feel a little hurt by this too,
this.
right? You feel a little hurt by that. That invite just kind of went to the guys. I feel a little sexist here.
Lord help us.
Nah, they have both know I can whoop both their asses. I have no problem with the sexism stuff.
Yep. Oh, use that time for cockroach hour.
You know
what?
You go.
That reminds me actually how
the
you
next year's show on the Things Network, the Cockroach Show.
Oh God!
I
gotta say this quickly. Before. Adrian, with what you just said, it just reminded me of how, you were hosting the panel we had a few nights ago at Wildwood, and I scared the hell out of everybody with that tape recorder. You remember that, right, Jeremy?
I need to go back and cut that clip out so I can put it up on TikTok.
Joshua, yes.
Hey, Jeremy, I got that clip right now.
You take a break. You take a break.
Yep.
If you feel it,
Yeah,
do it.
Mhm.
It's not so much by the paranormal. It's the people that are
The drama
on the
queens.
page with that.
Yes.
I'm just going to say it flat out, Adrian, the drama queens.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Drama
That's
kings and
why
queens.
people.
It's
That's
not.
why people need a
It's
break,
guys
because of the other people who create drama.
I've just gotten to the point. Click, delete.
Oh my God.
Click, block. Done.
Need a cockroach specialist on here to answer all the questions. Stuck
That's
with the
what Gil's
cockroaches
on
won't go
that.
away.
Yeah, I know
Yes.
Emily knows how to click,
Oh,
block, click, block.
Yeah. Yep. She agrees with you. Oh, Jeremy, that clip I was telling you about, I actually have it with me right now.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I have it on. I have it on. I have it on a separate YouTube page.
Oh no, bro, we're not talking to you anymore.
I
I'm
never
done
get-
talking to you.
Can you play it, Nick?
Wait, what? Yeah. Well, hang on 1 second. Yeah.
Okay.
Hang on, I just have it
Eileen,
right
you
here. Give me
you
1
missed it.
second here.
I did.
It was so funny.
Oh, it was something I was.
It was so funny.
ahead,
It came
Jim.
out of nowhere.
Well, see, I had to finish packing.
What
I
I
had
was-
to make 100 koozies for a wedding and get things ready to stencil or to etch 25 champagne glasses all when I got to Texas. So I was like, oh crud, I don't have time. I don't have any time in the day.
So
Well,
what happened?
you
What
missed out on
happened
a really
was
good
while
show,
Jeremy
actually.
was, yeah, it was great. But I'll say this: what happened was that Jeremy, he was kind of doing all the talking with Adrian, and I just got this new, well, it's not really new, but I decided to use a tape recorder that I was going to use for the investigation. I was testing it out, so I'm playing it, and well, as I share the screen, you'll see what happens. So you'll just you wait and see. Just watch what happens. All right, can you guys see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys see it, or okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what
You're good.
happened. Oh, hang on, missing the sound here.
Can't hear it.
Oh wait, you guys can't hear it?
Can't
No.
hear it. No.
Okay, hang on. That's weird. It's never happened before. You guys hear it now, or as I heard sometimes if you play it back.
No.
It's funny. I
You
was
guys hear it
watching
now,
the
or
thing
nothing?
as we were on this. It was on my Facebook replaying the same thing, and parts of it were like glitching out really bad. I don't know what was going on there.
Hold on. Try that again. That's never happened before where you don't hear any sound. I did check; it wasn't muted.
It's just that you're a baby and you don't know what you're doing.
Okay, then let's try this again. No, it's not all the tabs open, Brad. It is not.
He's only got two
There's only one other
tabs.
tab playing.
Wow.
All right. Yep. Okay. Okay. Is it better now?
No.
No.
Nothing? Seriously?
Nope.
Ah.
Oh, and I want to
Okay,
say this
well-
to Brad. That location is only 9 hours and 40 minutes from me. So, ha.
Wait a minute. I think I know what it is. Hang on. I think I got it now. Let's try this. Hopefully this is the last time I got to do this. All right, now you guys tell me if you can hear it.
Nope.
Nothing still? Oh my God, I just put it up to like high
Emily
volume.
said, make sure your volume is up on the screen.
Oh, I did turn it up, so I'm not.
I
Oh,
wonder
wait.
if it's
No,
'cause
wait.
your
Maybe it is the
microphone.
television screen.
Is it your microphone is keeping
I'm not sure, but you know what?
Or your headphones?
That might actually have been. Okay, hold on. I'm going to try this. Okay, Jeremy's not here yet, so that gives me a chance to. No, that gives me a chance to test it. All right. All right, I just turned up the monitor. Now let's see what happens. Now, can you guys hear it?
No.
Is it
I've
Oh
got
my-
the video
Well, I'm
loaded on
all
my
out of
computer
ideas.
in the office.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to try to cut it.
I'm not sure what's going on.
I've got it uploaded on my computer right now, so that onto my program, so that I can try to cut it and bring it on here. It should only take just a few minutes. The longest part is getting it to upload onto the program for the audio. And
Actually,
it's
there is
right
one
at
other
about
type of,
an hour 37, right?
yeah, it is. Can you hear me still, or because I just switched
hear-
volumes?
No, we could always hear
Okay.
you. We just couldn't hear the video.
Okay, this is one other option. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to switch the different volumes on the computer and see if that works. This is all I could think of. So you guys tell me if you can hear this now.
They pre-recorded it on February 12th,
Yes.
Saturday. And
You guys can hear it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear it, or?
Can we turn it up a little bit?
Yeah, hold on.
No. 13th. It was on Saturday the 13th, and then they re-aired it on the 19th. Where
You guys hear it now, or
Yes.
Yes.
is it better?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'm going to fast forward because I intentionally rewound it just before it happened. So here's what happened.
And the first, I cut it at 1 hour 29 minutes. So the first part of the show will air at 8 and stop at 9:29.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm sorry, Jeremy.
Rewind it a little bit. I was looking at Jeremy.
What's that? Wait.
Rewind it a little bit. I was watching Jeremy because when someone's talking, your eyes automatically go that direction.
Yeah, there is a little bit of talking in between because that startled the hell out of everybody.
Will air at 8 and stop at 9:29.
I'm sorry, guys.
It keeps skipping on my end. I don't know if it is for everybody else, but it keeps skipping.
No, it's just shit. No.
Keeps skipping.
I'll be right back, guys.
Am I haunted? No, that was when we were at Wild. Okay, I don't know why it's acting that way. It's weird how it's skipping.
It's funny. He was just trying to tell when that was going to come on, when the live was supposed to go on. And it all of a sudden that thing come out of nowhere and scared everybody.
Yeah, exactly. I just loved how like Brad and Jill especially. I even see Jill even said best live jump scare ever. But no, Rosie, no, to answer your question, that was for my tape recorder I was testing out. I had no idea that it was like turned to full volume. So I should have put headphones in at the time, but I wasn't thinking about it. And I was just only, wanting to give it a shot and see if it worked. And well, it definitely worked. Which I still got to check that entire tape, in fact, because we had to. Yeah, we did. I haven't been able to have a chance to review it yet, but I was able to get And these were fresh cassette tapes. They were able to record about 90 minutes of audio. So hopefully when I have a chance, maybe this weekend, I'm actually going to go back and try to listen to at least my whole goal is to listen to part A and then part B, or side A and B as they call it. Did someone cut the cheese?
Now, that would be Donald Martin in the middle of an investigation.
Worked in different ways than intended. Wildwood is, yeah, it definitely had some of the best captures. I mean, like, the activity we had at Wildwood was just insane. Like, yeah, especially like what Jill just said, especially the SLS footage. I was actually going to wait until Jeremy got back because I want him to have a talk about this. Got to be careful with tapes. One side can cause sound bleed onto the other. That is true. Yes. So we'll have to see what I got on. But after the tape was officially when it ran out of tape, that was all I put in. My goal is to use different cassette tapes for different locations. I didn't just want to use it for just one location.
I need to get me. I'm thinking about getting me a laptop just for paranormal. That's it. I've got 2 laptops right now because I stole one of my kids, but school paid for one, so why not? And so I want to get one just to hold anything paranormal on it.
It's actually a really good idea, Brad.
I didn't know that you should only use one side, so that's new for me. Spirit there, one of them connected with me and lingered, so I felt the need to draw him. Not even an artist. I did my best, he asked, so okay, I'll try. Are you talking about Wildwood, Jill, when you were tuning in, or I'm not sure what do you mean by that? And yes, the music box, Brad, thank you so much for it. If you guys didn't know, Brad Adrian, you know. Brad gave me a free music box, which I absolutely loved. That was awesome, right, Jeremy?
Oh, when I
Brad gave me
started playing that for you.
Yeah.
So what happened was so Brad was planning on sending my stuff to me, and he was going to send you yours later. And I was like, well, is there a chance that you're going to have this done before we go out there? Because if you do, send it to me and let me give it to Nick. And initially, I was going to give it to you when we all met up and had dinner. And I decided I wasn't going to do that. I wanted to do it during the show and surprise you with it. And I was trying to figure out how I was going to do that. So when you were sitting behind me, I had already had everything sitting out. I thought, okay, I'm going to take this, turn it on, and put it right to your ear. And I knew that you would know immediately what it was. And your reaction tells me that was the right way to do it.
And like what Brad just said, like a kid at Christmas.
Yeah.
I was excited. I really was excited when he gave me that. I'm actually trying to look that up right now.
You got paranormal equipment to try out. Who wouldn't be excited?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just read
exactly. And this was during the.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Eileen.
No,
I was going to say this was when I was still putting my. This was still during the height of when I was still like putting all my other pieces of equipment together. Like if you saw, at first I'm just sitting there, just kind of mind my own business, putting my stuff, like putting batteries, putting the equipment together. And that's when I heard it, and then I just freaked out. So I was like, all right, I need to put the stuff aside. Like this is awesome.
All right.
It was. I saw a picture of it.
I am going to try this.
All right.
See if it works.
I hope so.
So the first part of the show will air at 8 and stop at 9:29.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys.
How was that? Was that any better?
Yeah.
That was a lot better.
9 minutes. I'm going to play that again. The first part of the show will air at 8 and stop at 9:29.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry about that, guys.
Adrian's just.
I'm sorry, Jeremy.
I jumped out of my skin.
I thought I had it all the way to. That was my. It's a new tool I got, guys. It's old-fashioned tape recorder. I thought I had it played, right from the beginning, and somehow I accidentally left it in the middle of it.
So that right there, ladies and gentlemen, tells you anything can happen on a live show.
Yeah. Yeah. It does work, though.
Yep, it works. Everybody knows that now.
Oh my god, that was funny.
That was funny. Jill, what do I know?
Jeremy knows.
Hudson.
About the drawing she's supposed to do.
Oh, yeah. So let me tell the story on this one. Jill starts telling me, she's texting me about what she's seeing during the live feed that we were doing, and she sees somebody there at the sanitarium and start describing it. And I'm thinking, can you go into a little more detail? What more are you seeing? What are you feeling from this? Because just from the initial description she gave me, I got the feeling like I know who she's describing. But I wanted her to go into more details so that I would know, and then and she drew it. And I'll be damned if it wasn't a spitting image of exactly who I was thinking of, and it is actually one of our friends that we had lost last year. Wildwood Sanitarium was his favorite place to go investigate. He was doing all kinds of different experiments, and he was a very, very sciencey type of person. Very shy, very quiet, but when a conversation turns into a scientific conversation, then he is all out, that was his passion. And it was just amazing because she had his hair down. The only thing that she didn't have was that he wears glasses. But that was the only thing that she did not have. But
Maybe
otherwise,
he wasn't wearing glasses anymore.
I'm about to
Possibly.
say, do you want to be wearing glasses in the, after,
Right?
after you're gone?
I didn't want to be wearing glasses alive.
Look, I'm supposed to. I don't wear contacts nor glasses. I'm like, forget that.
You will when you can't see anymore.
Well, my problem is I get headaches because I can see around the glasses, and I feel like sick to my stomach.
I wear
something like that.
sunglasses.
Wait till you can't see anymore. You'll damn sure wear them gladly.
Well, I used to have purple contacts, and y'all know how my eyes are really blue. And so it made my eyes look periwinkle. Now, I do miss that. But I don't wear contacts anymore because I kind of like got where I left them sitting by the side of the bed and forgot to put them in stuff. And they didn't work anymore. And that was before the disposables. So I never did it again.
So after, because I told her, because we went over this for like 3 or 4 days, something like that. Because I was trying to encourage her, try to dig in more, try to dig deeper on that. when she felt like she got all that she could as far as description and being able to draw what she had, then I showed her the picture of who I thought she was describing, and she said that it was him.
That's pretty cool.
It was really cool. Because aside from that, far as I know, she had no previous knowledge of who he was. And ironically, his name is also Jeremy. I didn't tell her that until just now. Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was just really surreal. And now we got more details. Okay. Text me after the show. Yeah, just text me after the show. So, but yeah, I was just kind of working with her, trying to give her a little push, if you will, to dig deeper on that. And I think she did a really good job at that. She did good.
Hey, Jill, send me a friend's request. Now it's, as Jeremy puts it, it's a certain one. Hold on, let me see which is mine. But now here's the catch: I can't accept it for 13 more
9
hours.
minutes?
That one. You can't see it. Where is it?
So, Jill, wait till tomorrow to send you a friend request.
13 hours. I'm putting the call down. And this time it was
Yeah.
your next
Jeremy,
Because
I found a clip of.
she likes to go into jail all the time.
Look,
She
TPPS.
is our queen jailbird. Let's put it that way.
TPPS 2 weekends ago got me a shirt. I told them they cursed me, and it was the shirt that says Facebook inmate number repeat offender. I said they cursed me. I literally got 15 minutes from my house, and it says your account is now restricted. It's like, what did I say? Oh yeah, I did say that.
Jill, you and I are already friends on Facebook.
We need
Yeah,
to.
Jill, I'm already friends with you on Facebook.
We need to work on your abilities. Sounds like you're well on your way. We need to work on that.
Oh, I thought you were talking about my abilities. No, I'm
Jeremy,
really
very
good at
quickly,
getting jail. I'm good at that.
Yeah, I do think that there is
part.
something to Jill, just based off of that right there. Yeah, definitely need to work on that and fine tune it, because I do think that there is something there.
Oh,
we'll work on that. And how about we'll do a show one time with we'll do some readings. How about that?
That'd be awesome. Jeremy, before I forget, I found the reaction part of the show. I found it.
There you go. Work with her, and then after I'm gone, she can come in 1 week and take my spot.
Yep.
We want you there, and it's going to take a while to hone both of us together on readings.
Okay.
I can't help y'all there because my abilities consist of none.
No, you have them. I know better.
Actually, I will tell y'all
this
without putting people's business out there. You know, as many of y'all know, Para Thug is my sister, and so she couldn't make the event this weekend, so she was on location with us, and she actually had me doing some light work. And when I got done, I felt my head was it wasn't like pounding, but it was like, it was full.
Yep.
And I could feel, it wasn't like a bad drain. It was just, and I was like, am I supposed to feel like this? You know,
she opened you up.
I listened to Beth. I mean, I'm sorry. You know,
quit name dropping. We don't want to hear you. She opened you up. That's what she did.
But I had never done that before. I went back to Michael. I said, yep, you can laugh at me now, but it's okay. Yeah, we got quiet. What did we do?
Well,
We're actually getting ready to go
No.
off air here in just a minute.
What'd you say?
Jeremy, do you want to show? Jeremy, do you want to show my reaction to the ghost boxes? I found it on YouTube. I got it for the
Your
ghost box
reaction?
that Brad gave me. The
Oh,
music box.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. My only ability is to bring up new cockroach information for Nick.
There you go. That's Brad's superpower.
I'm good. I'm good.
you know, I'd love to know who in the hell typed my name on this shit. But
See, I'm not the only one saying it. Ooh, you're in trouble. You said the S word.
Wait a minute, what?
You
I'll
said the S
practice and
word.
get better. I like to help
Oh,
dead spirits just want to be heard. That's exactly right.
Mhm.
Exactly right.
yep.
I came across some people.
We're gonna fix
And
this shit.
they were trying to recreate some stuff, but it was just so disrespectful. I mean, it was like it was before the investigation ever began, and they were doing it trying to be funny. But me personally, I was sitting there thinking, this is kind of extremely disrespectful. And I'm not trying to talk bad about anyone because everybody has their own things, but I couldn't do that.
There's so many different ways, and then there's some things you just don't, unless you're like on live doing readings, you just don't do that on camera. You don't.
No.
Well, and this was like during. I mean, I'm all for doing enactments to, get the activity, but sometimes we forget spirits are not our puppets. We are there, like she said, we're there to listen to them and learn from them. They're not our puppets to do. I mean, heck, my kids don't listen to me and do what I want them to do when they're supposed to do it. So why would I think a spirit would? But I mean, I witnessed it for the first time in a long time within the past. I'm going to just say in the past 3 months. We'll just go back that far. And it hurt my feelings so bad. Just felt so bad for them.
And they won't interact with people like that. They won't.
Now, if I'm dealing with a jerk, I might start provoking and doing some other stuff. I mean, putting them back in their spot because they're a jerk. But I mean, you don't know up front if you're dealing with a jerk or not.
Yep.
Sorry, I got a little on tangent there.
Okay, guys. Early morning.
You're going to show the thing?
Oh, I thought you were going to show it because, again, I'm having issues from my side,
Jeremy.
apparently.
We're just talking, waiting on you. So we can go to bed.
Well,
it is. So my reaction
if Nick got his thing, we'll show that and then we'll close out the show.
Yeah, we are. Go to exact. Well, just go about maybe 10 seconds. Go to 13:30 on the video. So that'll be just right.
I don't have the full video. I don't have the full video on here. I would have to go back to my laptop, back to my computer.
Oh, I thought it was. Oh, I thought that was YouTube. Weren't you on YouTube for that? Or?
No, the one that I had, I cut out that specific thing from the video for this.
Oh, okay. All right, then I will.
Yeah.
Okay, I did something before, so let's try this. Let's try this again.
Okay.
Hopefully this does work.
We'll try that. If it doesn't work, then just give me the timestamp and we'll do it next week. How's that?
Sounds good. Okay, I'm going to switch back because I had to switch back to my headphones. So now let me know if you guys can hear this time. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Oh.
I think so.
Brad.
I think so.
Now you guys can hear that, right?
Yes.
Could you guys? Okay. All right.
And this one here that I got. Oh my God! Is this what I think it is? It is. Oh my God! Oh,
yep.
Speaking
get a new paranormal tool. I'm sorry. What do you call these things again? I got yes, Brad. I've got.
I was so overwhelmed I couldn't even think of the name of the music box.
Yeah.
Oh, I was excited.
That was just awesome. Brad, again, thank you for sending us all of that stuff.
Thank you, Brad. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so next week is going to be another free for all, I think, right?
As far as I know, I'm working, trying to get one of my buddies on. Like I said, y'all start sending me some people that y'all want me to reach out to. I'm just reaching out to all my buddies. So y'all just stuck with my peeps until y'all start telling me people.
When you run out of friends, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, you had a pretty cool one tonight.
Oh, I got to just say this quickly because I know I think some of you guys know this is actually kind of a more serious thing. I mentioned this on my show last night, but I'm sure you guys know that I had an investigator friend of mine named Jan Mary. Did you guys see my post about that last night or yesterday morning?
Yeah, I saw it.
So long story short, Jan Mary, she was a paranormal investigator here in the Chicago area who came to several of our ghost cons we had here, as well as some of the surrounding areas. Sadly, she passed away last night from cancer. She was only 51 years old. So, it's definitely not going to be the same with it. She, just like me, she also, yeah, I know. Just like, with me, she had a huge sense of humor. She was a lot of fun. She did a number of investigations herself. And, my heart goes out to her family and her friends. So tomorrow is going to be her funeral, which unfortunately I'll be unable to attend to because I got to work. But my dad is actually going to be there to serve as a pallbearer for it. So,
that's
rest in peace, Jan.
Quick to have a funeral.
I know.
Probably.
I didn't even realize it was that quick.
Yeah.
And the thing that really bothers me the most is she's got a son. He's only like 13, 14 years old. So
oh my goodness.
I can't imagine what he's going through in his head right now.
Yeah.
So, but he's got a dad, so he's not, his dad's watching over him.
Well, and they probably a lot of times when you're going through that, if you go ahead and make arrangements to keep the family from having to do it, so they probably already have the arrangements to a point, obviously.
Yeah. My dad actually wasn't originally going to go to this, not in a disrespectful manner, but it was just because obviously most of the people that were going were just going to be like the family, close friends. But when they offered him to be a pallbearer, that's when he decided to take the offer. If there were more paranormal friends of ours that were going, I probably would have gone as well. So, and as usual, I'm going to be actually doing as I always do with investigators who've passed. I'm going to be making a special music post tomorrow afternoon for her honor. So that way, we as an entire paranormal community can kind of, more together. It's that same song I always use, "Nothing Else Matters" by Metallica. That's just basically the song I've chose for many of them. So in my book, it's the closest we as a paranormal community can basically kind of have like an online funeral for that deceased investigator.
And Nick, how close is she from you? Like, how far away is the graveside?
That I'm not sure of. We've never even been to her house. She did actually come up.
Like close enough that
I would say she's probably only about me.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead. No, you go ahead, Eileen.
No, like close enough that you can go and do your own thing at the graveside after work at all, or another day.
It may have to wait another day and I even told my parents, say I can call off work and go if you guys need me over there. But they said because again, since it was mostly just going to be the family and friends, once I heard that no other, paranormal brothers and sisters were going out to this, I thought, as much as I wanted to go, it was kind of more of a private funeral, if anything. Because again, my dad's only going because he's been asked to be a pallbearer for this.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Thanks, Joe.
Tomorrow night we have on the 13th dimension we have Nat and Elliot from ACG with us, and let me tell you this:
Yep.
these two are the coolest cats. They are. You guys are
Oh,
gonna
they are
want to
awesome.
see.
And they're basically my neighbors. They only live
They
an
are.
hour south of me from Joliet. So yeah, they're literally my neighbors. So they are awesome.
They recently returned from
I'm
a
excited
trip from
for this.
Ireland, and we're going to be talking a lot about their trip to Ireland. And then next week, Adrian and Jan are going to have their normal show talking about real problems and coming up with real solutions. And then Nick will have
Jenny, is
what's
that
your
you? Sorry, what was that?
what's your topic for next week
So now,
on your
for
Wednesday
Nick
show?
Files. So yeah, yeah, it is. Okay, it is Jenny. Okay, so like for Nick Files, our next location we're going to be focusing on and is actually going to be the Alany Lodge, which is ironically enough that was one of the other shooting locations they shot The Shining. And as I always say, despite the fact that it's involved, this is still involved in The Shining. This is not part 4
You're doing
from
a
what I
whole
was talking about
Shining
previously. These
universe.
are just all different locations.
You're doing a whole
I kind
Shining
of am,
universe.
but this is
I like
basically
that.
the last of those type of locations. Yeah, it's the
Wow.
last one though, because everything else
Okay.
that was shot with that movie was then shot in studios. So this is like the last actual historical like hotel or building of any sort involved in that movie that's going to be featured in it. And then next
That's-
week is when, as some of you guys know, and also as some of you guys know too, starting next Tuesday night after 4th of July, one of my best friends, Don, is going to be starting a new show Tuesday night at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. We don't know exactly, what. We still don't have a name for the show, but he does have some ideas of what he wants to talk about. So I'm meeting with him this weekend. We're going to brainstorm. So hopefully we'll have the title soon.
And also next week on 13th Dimension, I will not be on 13th Dimension. I will actually be traveling to New England, and Adrian will be on 13th Dimension, and they will also have Jan on that show as well. So you guys are
What's up,
gonna,
Robert?
want to watch that one too. So, okay, so what do you guys say we wrap this up?
Mwah.
All right, so everybody out there in the audience, thanks for playing along. And for Nick and myself, we will see you guys tomorrow. And for everybody else, we will see you all sometime next week.
See you when we see you.
Yes.
And have a good 4th of July.
Yes, happy 4th of July, everybody.
Stay roachy. Stay roachy.
Yep. Good night, everybody.
Night night.
Good night, everybody.